Hi all, welcome to today's session. Uh, uh, we'll make a small refreshing memory on the scheme, composition scheme under GST. As far as this scheme is concerned, the idea of this scheme is just to give benefit to all those small time businesses. If a person satisfy all these conditions that are listed down here, he would be entitled to claim the composition levy. What are the conditions that need to be satisfied by him? If his previous year aggregate turnover should not exceed 150 lakhs, he should be engaged only in supply of goods which are leviable to GST. When he wants to claim Section 10(1) exemption, he should be engaged only in one supply of services which is connected with supply of food. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply. He should not be supplying goods through e-commerce operator, goods through e-commerce operator. He should not manufacture notified goods such as ice cream, pan masala, aerated drink. For throughout India, with the same pan, if we have multiple registration, all registration he should opt for composition levy. Plus, he is not supposed to collect tax separately in his invoice. Whatever he money collects, inclusive of tax. He is also not entitled to claim input tax credit. That is, when he purchases the goods, there is a tax. That tax becomes his cost. He is not eligible to set off with his output tax payable. We will learn a concept later, or you might be little aware about it. If you have an output tax of 10 rupees and you have an input tax of 8 rupees, you can adjust this and pay only 2 to the government. That facility is not available if you are going to opt for composition levy. Are there any conditions? Yes. A non-resident taxable person and a composition taxable person is not eligible to claim. In his board, in the invoice, in every document that he writes, he has to mention that he is a composition levy person. Sir, if I do all this, what will be benefit to me? If a person does all this, if he opts Section 10(1), which is applicable for all goods and all goods trader, manufacturer, and only one service provider supply of food, they can pay on their current year 150 lakh rupees taxes up to 150 lakh rupees. They can pay tax at 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST if they are a manufacturer. If they are a supplier of food, 2.5%. If they are a trader, 0.5% on their taxable turnover. Good. Sir, I am a small time fellow. I am a service provider. Do you have any scheme for me? Yes. If you are a service provider, ensure your previous year turnover does not exceed 50 lakhs. Let me repeat. Previous year turnover does not exceed 50 lakhs. There 150 lakhs, here 50 lakhs. You are engaged in supply of services other than what is mentioned in 10(1). If it is mentioned in 10(1), that it is not eligible to you, other than mentioned in 10(1). Followed by, the person should not be engaged in non-taxable supply. He should not supply goods interstate outward supply. Often a doubt will come. Adena the outward supply. Interstate supply nu sonna purada. Your sales, your services, your income is outward supply. All the expenses that you make, all that you purchase is inward supply. So indirectly, can I purchase goods from another sales and can I purchase goods from another state and sell goods within this state and opt composition levy? Yes. Can I import goods and sell locally? Yes. What is prohibited is only outward supply. நீங்க வேற ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு தான் விற்க கூடாது, வேற ஸ்டேட்ல இருந்து பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ண கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லல. Can we able to appreciate this discussion? There is no prohibition for a composition dealer in Tamil Nadu to purchase from Kerala. In Kerala, there is a normal dealer. He sells to you in Tamil Nadu. You are allowed. But you are a composition dealer in Tamil Nadu. You are not supposed to make a sale outward supply. That is the point of the word outward supply. Coming back here, they are not eligible. If you are a non composition person, casual taxable person or non-resident taxable person, not eligible. Followed by, in case if they are going to be a e-commerce operator, supply goods through e-commerce operation, they are not eligible. They are not engaged in making supply of goods which are notified goods, and followed by he should not collect tax separately. He should invoice. He should ensure on all his documents, signboards, wherever he says that he is a casual taxable person. All these points we have discussed. Now, are there any extra points to discuss, sir? Yes. This section is subject to, let me repeat, this section is subject to section 9.3 and 9.4. I am sure you all know that this section is subject to section 9.3 and 9.4. Be it your section 10.1, be it your new entry 10.2a, whatever be it, both fellows comes out and says that if a composition levy person pays to an advocate, if a composition levy person pays to a let's say if he pays to an advocate, if he pays to a sponsorship, if he pays to a transportation, he is liable to pay tax under reverse charge, which means he is liable even for reverse charge liabilities in case if he makes. That is the intention behind this exemption. Beyond that, nothing great about this discussion. So make yourself comfortable. Now make yourself comfortable in terms of its decision. The idea here is, in case if a person pays one advocate fee, yes, an advocate will not pay tax because advocate services are notified. Only the respective recipient is liable to pay tax. He being the respective recipient will be liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Again, another important point. Be it for the taxability, be it for calculating aggregate turnover, be it for the purpose of paying GST during the month, interest income will not be considered in calculating aggregate turnover. Interest income will not be considered in calculating aggregate turnover. Let me repeat it, a very careful point. I will add all exempted supplies. I will add all taxable supply. I will add all no supply item. Arrive my aggregate turnover, no supply item, very specifically. Non-taxable supply item, liquor, petrol and all, I will check. But I will not add one income, which is called as interest income, when I calculate for the purpose of 150 lakhs or 50 lakhs. In this whole discussion, again, one more aspect. If in case somebody operate out of special category states, for them, goods, when it comes to goods exemption, it is only up to 75 lakhs. What are special category states? Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Uttarakhand. These states are alone treated as your special category states. Assam, which was earlier a special category state, now no more a special category state. Himachal Pradesh was earlier a special category state, now no more a special category state. J&K came out of it initially itself. So J&K, Assam and Himachal Pradesh comes out of the special category state. In any case, this is a complete discussion on section 8, section 9 and section 10 relating to it. Okay. Now, we'll do one thing. We'll take up some MCQ. Let me repeat. We'll take up some MCQ before we getting into other aspects. Done. 1 minute. I have to change the mode. Yes, Anand Vishwanathan, raise your hand. I'll unmute you so that you can raise your doubt. So if you have doubts, you kindly raise your hand. Automatically, you will be in my top of your list. So I can unmute you. Yes, Anand.
Sir, the composition 11 conditions 11, the turnover the first year is above 1.5 crores. And next year is come to below 1.5 crores. Is he eligible for composition?
First year?
He exceeded the limit.
Okay.
And next year he comes below the limit. Is he eligible?
First year no sollakudade. For the financial year 1920, you will check 1819 turnover. If 1819 turnover is, let's say, more than the limit, okay, they are not entitled for this benefit. But if in next 1819, if they cross 1.5 crores, they are not eligible for 1920. But in 1920, turnover dips. It comes less than 1.5 crores. Then 2021, they are eligible. Hello?
Yes, sir.
First year, you look the previous year. Sir, this year only I am starting business means previous year is considered as zero. If you are a fresh business starting during 1920, your previous year is zero. It is always deemed as zero. To the contrary, in case that year, your previous year turnover alone is a decision making factor, because this decision you have to take at April. You will not take at the last month of the financial year. You will take at the starting month of the financial year. In fact, on the first day, you will take. So you will always refer back only to your previous year turnover. During the year, if you cross 1.5 crores anywhere, or during the year, if you cross 50 lakhs, you will cease to be a composition levy person with immediate effect.
Sir, again formula first line repeat again first line the procedure formula, sir.
Another again first line the procedure.
Sir, on the form on the file form submit
form 4 has to be filed. On the formula form 4 CMP 04 has to be filed within next 7 days on exceeding 150 lakhs or on exceeding 50 lakhs, as the case may be of your situation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You have to unmute at your end. See, this is a different presentation. To what extent it is applicable, to that extent we will discuss. Okay. If you all are aware of the answer, I want you to text the answer. That's the agenda behind it. Question number 1. What is the maximum rate of CGST prescribed under GST? Quick. What is the maximum rate of GST? I do understand உங்களுக்கு 4 question at a time தெரியும். எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஆன்சர் அனுப்பாதீங்க. ஓகே. ஸோ அடுத்த கொஸ்டின் வேணா படிச்சு வச்சுக்கோங்க. நான் ஒன்றும் வேண்டான்னு சொல்ல, அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆன்சர் அனுப்பிச்சுக்கலாம். Good. Sanjay, Malavika, Sneha, Swati, Karthik, Sashikala, Hamid, Pavitra, Vishwa, Pavitra, check your answer. Rate will be section 9 and section 9 comes out and says maximum rate will be 20%. As per law, 20%. But what is currently levied is only 14%. Maximum rate as per law தான் நீங்க எழுதணும். Okay. What is the notified rate on the product னு government கேட்கலாம். maximum எவ்வளவு levy பண்ண முடியும்? 20. Which tax or taxes are levied on intra-state supply? Good, Naresh, Deepa and Madhumita. Sanjay, Hamid, Ananya, Sujit, Karthik, Subhashri, Pranav, Janaki, Sashikala, Malavika. Hey, good. All of you all understood. Aishwarya, Naresh, Abjit, Padma. Good. CGST and SGST. Right. Which of the following is not included in aggregate turnover? Exempt supply of goods or services or both, export of goods or services or both, interstate supply of goods or services of both, value of inward supplies on which tax paid under RCM. You can mention the MCQ option A, B, C, D, whichever you want. Lavanya, Karthik, Shashikala, Sneha, Divya, can you check your answer? Shweta, can you check your answer? Aishwarya, Jata, Madhumita, Deepa, Achudan. Good. All of you all right. Value of inward supplies on which tax payable under RCM will not form part of your aggregate turnover. Followed by, what is the threshold limit up to which a person can get registered under composition scheme in Delhi? Delhi is a union territory, just for your information. Okay. What is the threshold limit up to a person which, see, one minute. No, Ari, no, wait. One. அதாவது நீங்கள ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, தொடர்ந்து பால் எல்லாம் சாதாரண பால் வருது, அப்புறம் ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங்கான பால் வருது, ஒரு தடவை மூச்சை இழுத்துட்டு ஒரு தடவை விட்டுட்டு அப்புறம் கொஸ்டினை படிச்சுட்டு ஆன்சர் எழுதணும். ஓகே. Unfortunately, for this question, you don't have a answer. So there are two possibilities of answer in my personal view. Think and answer. A lot of you got one answer right. There is one more answer possible. I'm not joking. About 10 of you instantly got it right. Okay. என் எண்டில் மட்டும்தான் பார்த்தா தெரியும், கான்பரேங்கா குரோபதியோட குஸ்தி கேட்டு டப்பு ஆன்சர் வரும்ல, டக்குன்னு ஃபிளாஷ் அவுட் பாயிண்ட் ஆகிற மாதிரி within the same second I get what? Instant answer. I'm happy for you, but please understand you have two answers here. Quick. All of you all already gave one answer. You think there is one more answer possible. What is the threshold limit up to which a person can get registered under composition scheme in Delhi? Yes. What are those answers? Shruti, B and D na எனக்கு புரியல. இங்க MCQவே இல்லையே. 1.5 crores, agreed. One more number is there, no? 1.5 crores for what? We are all pursuing one of the challenging course in India called as company secretary. One of the most challenging course in India called as chartered accountancy. In an environment like this, how our brain should think? Okay, threshold limit up to which a person can claim exemption composition scheme, it is given whether for goods or for services. ஆமா இல்ல சார், ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் காம்போசிஷன் இருக்குல்ல. If it is goods, then 1.5 crores. If it is services, then 0.5 crores or 50 lakhs. If you write everything in lakhs, good. If it is goods, up to 150 lakhs. If it is services, up to 50 lakhs. See, all of you are texting, you all know it. It should strike to you. If a question is like that, then it's, if already question is given as 75 lakhs, 100 lakhs, 150 lakhs, 200 lakhs, then you will select 150 lakhs. The intention of the paper setter is to test you only on 150 lakhs. If you give 75 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 150 lakhs, B and C, you will select B and C, because for goods it is 50 lakhs, for services it is 150 lakhs. That's all. See, just a thought. Think whatever possible answers in questions like this, whatever possible answers, be prepared for it. Okay. Where an assessee has two registrations, the aggregate turnover of the preceding year was rupees 120 lakhs. Can he pay tax under normal levy for one registration and composition levy for another registration? Shweta, nice answer. Uh, Subhashini, Naresh, Aishwarya, Neha, uh, Achyutan, Sanjay, Deepti, Pavitra, Sudarshan, Divya, Pranav, Avalika, Janani. Now you are all no answering it correctly. You all had one feeling. எனக்கு ஜிஎஸ்டியே தெரியலையே, இந்த ஆள் பேசுறதே எனக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குதே. அப்படிலாம் இல்ல. முதல்ல இருந்து 5 கேள்வி வரைக்கும் ஆன்சர் கரெக்டா வந்திருக்கு. That should things will go well. Okay. So lot of you having an inner feeling. இந்த ஆள் மாட்டுக்கு பேசினே இருக்கா, எனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. எல்லாம் புரியுது, எல்லாம் உள்ள ப்ராசஸ் ஆகுது. அதனால தான் ஆன்சர் கரெக்டா வருது. Good. He can't opt for one state composition, another state normal. Good. An assessee registered under composition scheme carrying on a manufacturing activity shall pay tax at the rate of dash. Question number 6. An assessee who is registered under composition levy and he is carrying on a manufacturing activity shall pay tax at the rate of dash percentage. If you write 1% also, answer is right. 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST also, answer is right. Okay. Both way answer is right. Good. Good. All of you are answering. See, I want almost all of you to contribute. Let me repeat it. This is the only way I can assess your understanding. Let me repeat. This is the only two-way connectivity I have. All of us cannot unlock ourselves individually and share the answer. A kind of echo that will happen is unimaginable. You will have a challenging environment. This is the only way that you can confirm. You are sending subconsciously to your system that yes, I am understanding something. And times like this, moments like this, creating that confidence, building that confidence is more important. Let me repeat. These are all times you have to be very clear in building confidence. These are all topics straight from exam. இங்க பட்சமா இதோட நேர எக்ஸாம் தான். எக்ஸாம்க்கு ஒரு வாரம் முன்னாடி சும்மா ரெஃப்ரெஷ் பண்ணா முடிஞ்சிச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். This paper, you leave it to me, forget it, everything else, we can close it at class level. I think all of you all got it right. Maybe think next time, 1%, 1% on total turnover. Okay, total turnover of state, just be remembered. Why? Because there is another trader example, which will be 1% on taxable turnover of the state. So that is just an added point I thought I should share. Otherwise, nothing great. Which of the following is true for a composition taxpayer? He can avail 50% of ITC on capital goods. He can avail 100% ITC on capital goods. He cannot avail ITC on any inward supply. He can avail if they mention separately in the invoice raised by the composition dealer. Let me repeat. He can avail 50%, he can avail 100%. That is a trader or any composition person is buying capital goods or buying raw material. When they buy, can they take input tax credit or not? That is a question. So they can take 50% credit, they cannot take credit, they can take 100% credit. Lavanya, check your answer. Let me repeat. Lavanya, check your answer. Answer will be for the 7, number C. 7 will be C. He cannot avail input tax credit on any inward supply. He cannot avail any on the inward supply. He cannot avail input tax credit. On which of the following items GST shall be levied with effect from such date as may be notified by the government on the recommendations of GST Council? A, B, C. Petroleum crude, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, and both A and B. No. Read the question. On which of the day GST shall be levied with effect from the day as may be notified by the government? Sanjay, Naresh, Rajendra Tilak, Gayatri, Achyutan, Lavanya, Karthik, Devya, எல்லாம் ஒரு தடவை திருப்பி படிங்க. தீப்தி, ஜானகி, லிஸ்ட் பெருசா போகுது. நரேஷ்ல ஆன்சர் மாத்திட்டாரு. Malavika, petroleum, you wrote good. Faisal, no. Uma Maheshwari, no. See, alcoholic liquor for human consumption can be liable to GST or cannot be liable to GST. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Why a manufacturer of an ice cream is also not eligible for scheme? I appreciate your question, but it will take 15 minutes. கதை தேவையான்னு பாருங்க. End of the day, it is of no use to you. It is of absolutely no use to you. Okay. என்னைக்காவது ரொம்ப கிளாஸ் போர் அடிச்சுன்னா அன்னைக்கு சொல்லுங்க, அன்னைக்கு கதை சொல்றேன். ஓகே, யூ ஹாவ் அ 10 minutes ஸ்கிரீன் பிளே ஸ்டோரி. இன்னைக்கு ஏற்கனவே ஒரு கதை முடிஞ்சிடுச்சு. ஓகே, ஸோ ஒன் டே ஒன் ஸ்டோரி ஒன். ஓகே, டுடே ஒன் கதை ஓவர். சார் அந்த கதை நாங்க கேட்கலையே, இது ஐஸ்கிரீம் கதை நல்லா இருக்கும். ஓகே, யூ ஹாவ் அ வெனிலா ஸ்டோரி, யூ ஹாவ் ஆல் திஸ் கதை. And there are sessions, another 15 sessions is going to be there with you. Okay, don't be bothered about it, minimum. So at that time we will take it up. Okay, done, Karthik. Moving forward towards, yes, last question. Composition taxpayer is required to file which return? Martinga. Composition taxpayer is required to file which return? Quick. You should write both the returns. There is something quarterly return, there is something an annual return. இந்த பாருங்க, எனக்கு டியூ டேட் வேணும், ஃபார்ம் நம்பர் வேணும். இப்பவே சொல்லிட்டேன், சிஎம்பி 02 தப்பு ஆன்சர். நான் இப்பவே சொல்றேன், ஃபார்ம் நம்பர் வேணும், டியூ டேட்டும் வேணும், ரெண்டும் வேணும். ஏன்னா நான் திருப்பி ஃபைனல் இதுக்கு வந்தேன்னா அப்பவும் தெரியணும். GSTR வாட் ஃபார்ம் நம்பர், சிஎம்பி வாட் ஃபார்ம் நம்பர், அண்ட் வித் டியூ டேட். இஸ் இட் குவார்டர்லி, மந்த்லி, ஆனுவலி, எல்லாம் வேணும். Quick, fast possible. We read possible. Be conscious to yourself. அந்த பக்கம் ஸ்லைட்ல வந்துட்டு பார்த்து அடிக்க கூடாது. இது வரைக்கும் யாரும் அப்படி பண்ணல, இனிமேல்ட்டும் பண்ணக்கூடாது. Composition taxpayer is required to file which return? Abhijit, good answer. Karthik, good. Kanga, one more answer is required. Shashikala, part answer. Divya, one more form. Karthik, one more form. Shashikala. A lot of you forgot. Santosh. One more answer, Santosh. Come on, CMP 02 is for opting the scheme. CMP 02 is for opting the scheme. The return will be filed in CMP 08. Okay, it is not CMP 02. GSTR 4 has to be filed before April, and CMP 08 has to be filed before 18th day from end of quarter. Good, Lavanya, nice. So point here for our discussion is, be very clear. From the financial year 1920, quarterly payment will be done through CMP 08 before 18th day from end of quarter. 18th day from end of quarter. So that is your quarterly form. Similarly, one more annual form need to be filed, which will be filed before 30th April. Okay, be very clear. Hope you have all wrote from your memory, not referred the PPT. நான் நம்புறேன், நீங்க நம்புங்க சார், நீங்க மட்டும் நம்புங்க. Okay. Come to practical questions. determine whether the supplier in the following case are eligible for composition levy. Determine whether the supplier in the following cases are eligible for composition levy, provided the turnover in the preceding year does not exceed 1.5 crores. So both cases, it never exceeded 1.5 crores. You are asked to decide whether they are eligible for composition levy. Mohan Enterprise is engaged in trading of pan masala in Rajasthan and is registered in the same state. Next, sugar manufacturer has registered office in Punjab and Haryana and supply goods in neighboring states. So you have italic one fellow, italic fellow. Both fellows are eligible for composition levy. Both fellow not eligible for composition levy, whatever be it. So Sneha, check first answer. Yes. Quick. Shweta, Sundar, check your answer. Sujit, check your answer. Karthik, a simple A1. I don't understand that. Neha, answer is through. Anand, answer is through. Part answer is through. Aishwarya, part answer is through. Sudarshan, not sure for which you have marked. Anand, second part answer is through. Shweta, second part answer is through. Janaki, check your answer. Subhashri, check your answer. Aishwarya, second part of the answer is through. Naresh, first part of the answer is through. Pavitra, first part of the answer is through. Malavika, first part of the answer is through. Divya, full answer through. Achudan, good, nice way of explaining. Both the answers are through. Vishwa, first part, no, check. Malavika, second part, second question, no, then check answer. Faisal through. Preeti, check. Check, Preeti. Abjit through. Pavitra, second part through. Vishwa, second part through. Sanjay, second part through. Ganga, first part through. Shashikala, check. See, I'm not sure how many of you all got this part correct. Mohan Enterprises is engaged in trading of pan masala. What do you have prohibition in GST for manufacturing or trading? Half of them got it straight. Balance off, concentrate on the word. If it is manufacturing of pan masala, yes, you are not entitled. Because it is trading of pan masala, you are eligible for composition levy. Previous CA exam question. இது மாதிரி ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டுட்டு 4 மார்க் கொடுத்தான்னா என்ன கஷ்டம் சொல்லுங்க. All you need to notice trading of pan masala. Mohan Enterprises, if the turnover does not exceed 1.5 crores, subject to satisfaction of other conditions as per section 10, though they are dealing in, they are trading in pan masala, the restriction is only for manufacture of notified goods, which is also pan masala. Hence, Mohan Enterprises is only trading in pan masala. They are eligible for composition levy. Mudichilla. Sugar manufacturer, they subject to satisfaction of all other conditions under section 10. They are interested and they are supplying goods to neighboring states. One of the conditions of section 10 is They should not be engaged in interstate outward supply. However, Sugam Enterprises engaged in interstate outward supply. They are ineligible for composition levy. If you write like this, mark my word, 2 out of 2. Putte avano. Section number எழுதியாச்சு, content எழுதியாச்சு, law எழுதியாச்சு, facts ரெஃபர் பண்ணியாச்சு. இதுக்கு மேல என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? இவ்வளவுதான் பண்ண முடியும் ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்டால. பட் இது மாதிரி எழுதுறோமா, இது மாதிரி எழுதுற ஹேபிட்டை கல்டிவேட் பண்றோமா, அதுதான் முக்கியம். ஓகே, wherever you have a descriptive question, ensure section, provision, facts and conclusion. Section, provision, facts, conclusion. Section, provision, facts, conclusion. Sir, section number ஞாபகம் இல்ல, அமைதியா விட்டுருங்க. As per GST law அப்படின்னு. Next question. See, lot of you got it right. I want all of you to got it right. Mr. R, a retailer, presents the following information for the year. Purchase of goods 30 lakhs, out of goods worth 2 lakh purchased from unregistered dealer. Sale of goods 49 lakhs. He has opted for composition scheme. Show the treatment of GST, assuming the rate under GST are 0.5 and 0.5 and 9%, 9% under regular scheme. Now, point here is Mr. A is a retailer. He purchases, his purchase of goods is 30 lakhs, out of which goods worth rupees 2 lakhs was purchased from unregistered dealer. Leave it as it is. Sale of goods is 49 lakhs. He has opted to pay tax. He has opted the composition scheme. Show the treatment under GST, assuming the rate under GST are 0.5, 0.5 if they are composition scheme, if they are regular scheme. I think this gentleman is under what scheme now? He is under composition scheme. And this gentleman is under composition scheme. Yes. What will be your rate of tax? Quick. So you will put one number, multiply the rate, and you will get it. In fact, if that rate is not given also, you should be in a position to remember the rate because a reference is already given. He is under composition scheme. Quick. Answer should come. Quick. Done. 3 நிமிஷத்துக்கு மேல இங்க ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணவே கூடாது. Certain questions you have to grab. Quick. Yes. Answer. என்னவோ இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுறீங்க ஆன்சர் கொடுக்க. கமான், இதுல என்னதுல கஷ்டம் இருக்கு? மாட்டணும். Quick. 49 lakhs into 1%. That's all. In fact, you will not put like that. You'll say CGST equal to 49 lakhs into 0.5% equal to 24,500. SGST 49 lakhs into 0.5% equal to 24,500. Question itself very clearly says he has opted for composition levy. Sir, அப்ப எதுக்கு சார் 9% CGST 9% SGST கொடுத்துருக்கேன்? யாராவது தப்பா கண்டுபிடிங்கள. நான் தான் குழி தோண்டி வைக்கிறேன் வந்து உழுங்க. அதுக்காக போடும். In fact, I am sorry. This question, because it was a CS question, you have the rate. In fact, when it is a CA question, they will not give that rate of composition at all. Very clearly told in the discussion, composition rate need to be remembered by the student. Normal rates only will be given. Okay, but nothing great about it. Calculate it. I am not much spending time on that problem. Quickly, Ram and Co. Problem number 3 on your screens. All along, I read problem. You are now going to read the problem, decide and send it to me. Hope it is much visible to all of you. Quick. Ram and Co. being a trader of cell phone registered under GST in the state of Tamil Nadu has the following information relating to preceding financial year. So last financial year details of Ram and Co. is before you. You need to now decide whether Ram and Co. is eligible for current year composition scheme. Yes or no. Yes means why yes, no means why no. I want with reason. You, some number you calculated will make the decision. What is that number? I want that number. Quick. Exam problem will come this time. எப்படி சார் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்? தெரியும். Neha, good. Karthik, super. Deepthi, good. Hamid, good. Lavanya, check. What is that 19,20,000? I don't understand that. Shweta. Sanjay, you gave a text, but what is your conclusion? Not Pavitra. Sujata. 1 minute. Sujata, check your answer. Your final answer is right, but somehow aggregate turnover number is wrong. Malavika, final answer is right. Aggregate turnover you have to check. Achudan through, Sanjay through, Sashikala, check. Sashikala, check. Rajendra Tilak, check. Now, come back here. Aggregate turnover means it will include all taxable supply, exempted supply, zero rated supply, non-taxable supply. It will exclude only reverse charge. Correct? So you will add 120 lakhs plus 10 lakhs. 120 lakhs is taxable supply. 10 lakhs is exempted supply of goods. Similarly, taxable and exempted supply of services. All put together, 130 plus 8 lakhs is going to be somewhere around your 138 lakhs. Plus interest earned on deposit. Is it also an exempt? It is also included in aggregate turnover, sir? Yes, normally it will be included in aggregate turnover. So 138 plus 15, 153.5 or 153.5 you should get. Okay. But you have specifically read, I believe, aggregate turnover for the purpose of paying tax, for the purpose of computation, interest income will not be included. Very, very specifically, I think I have read. I have made all of you to note that. Let me repeat. The whole idea is just to take care that point only. Interest income will not be included. So what you will do is normal aggregate turnover is 153.5. However, as per section 10 proviso, interest will not be included in aggregate turnover for the purpose of section 10. For the purpose of section 10, it will not be included. So from 153.5, you will reduce interest. When you reduce interest, your number will be 138 lakhs aggregate turnover. 138 lakhs is less than 150 lakhs. Hence, Ram and Co is eligible. Let me repeat. Your answer should contain interest is not eligible. First, your answer should contain aggregate turnover normally, which will be 153.5. Then you should say as per section 10, interest is not eligible. Then you will arrive a adjusted aggregate turnover for the purpose of composition levy, which will be your 138 lakhs. Then you will say that number is less than 150 lakhs and you are eligible. All 4 points required to get 4 out of 4 or 5 out of 5 as the case may be. So Be very clear. Don't underestimate it. All this are all required. A lot of you got it right, except one, two of you, it got striked. It got missed. டக்குன்னு ஸ்ட்ரைக் ஆகணும். இதெல்லாம் 4 பாயிண்டர்ஸ் வேற வேற இடத்துல படிக்கிறோம், எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்து அந்த மொமெண்ட்ல அடிச்சா அடிச்சு தூக்கி போட்டுடலாம். தட்ஸ் ஆல். திங் கிரேட். Enumerate the person who are not eligible to opt for composition levy under section 10(2). You all know I am not stepping in. What is the rate of tax applicable for taxable person opting to pay tax under composition scheme? I think you can handle. Whether tax on interstate supply is applicable to every supply. Tax on interstate supply is applicable to every supply. Again, yes. So those questions are all theory questions. I'm not stepping in. Question 7 is your next question. Yes. Peter England is a trader who sells his ready-made clothes online on Amazon India, an e-commerce operator. He received an order for rupees 12 lakhs in the previous year. Peter England supply goods. Peter England supply goods from their outlets. Aggregate turnover of the company of the previous year is 21 lakhs. Whether Peter England is eligible for composition levy. Hamid through, Sneha through, Malavika through, Aishwarya through, Achyutan through, Pavitra through, Deepti, Neha, Shashikala, Anand, Shweta, Ramesh, Divya, Kanga, good. Lavanya, Vishwa, Naresh, through, good. All of you are getting it right. Good. That's all. So இதுல இருந்து என்ன புரியுறது? நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் காம்போசிஷன் லெவி புரிஞ்சுடுத்து. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இந்த அளவில் முடித்து கொண்டு நாம் அடுத்த சாப்டருக்கு போவோம். Sir, what is the next chapter, sir? Very, very simple chapter. A discussion about what are the services liable under reverse charge. See, we have a set of few services which are all liable under reverse charge. Okay. What should be my takeaways, sir, from these services? 2 takeaways. Which service is liable for reverse charge should be your takeaway. How a supplier should be, how a recipient should be to make this transaction liable under reverse charge. Let me repeat it. The easiest part of this discussion is the moment you see a service, you will say reverse charge applicable. The toughest part of the same topic is எல்லாம் அப்படியே இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும், ஆனா கடைசியில ஒரு கண்டிஷன் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆகுது, ஆனால் ரிவர்ஸ் சார்ஜ் அப்ளை ஆகாதுன்னு வெளில போயிடலாம். There is a challenge of this topic itself. You have to be concentrating more on the facts. Okay. I'll do one thing. At your level, a little, not full-fledged, a great discussion is required. A little dosed down discussion is we will make. Now, why I want to make in that fashion is very simple. Because this is an area by itself. Okay. Now, to start our whole discussion, goods transport agency. See, there are many services. Okay. Notified by government. Sir, can we have a look of all services? We'll have so that we get an understanding. GTA service, that is transportation of goods by road. Advocate services. Arbitral tribunal services, that is your out of the court settlements. Sponsorship related services, services provided by government, renting of immovable property by government. This is an all amendment, will be tested in exam. When a landowner transfers development right. Similarly, long-term lease of all those development rights, long-term lease of land on transfer of development right. services provided by a director of a company, services provided by an insurance agent, services provided by a recovery agent, services provided by a music composer, artist, people like them. All those services provided by a author of books, services provided by services provided to RBI by a overseeing committee. Services provided by a direct selling agent, people who connect bank person who connect bank and the borrower. There is direct selling agent. Some banking facilitator services or banking correspondent services. Last few. Security services and rent a cab services. Of course, borrower of a loan. In case of these services, in case of all these services, what should I know, sir? See, இங்க நிறைய information இருக்கும். But understand, from a CA inter perspective, every single slide, every single word, every single point, most important. From a CS perspective, if you know the service is liable to reverse charge, it is sufficient. Now, why I'm highlighting this is because for you, the way in which it is tested, for CA, the way in which it is tested is little different. For you, in certain matters, they are not going so minutely. In any case, coming back here, our discussion will be same irrespective of your courses. For me, I'm selling the subject. I'm just sharing what and all is important, what are all is to be remembered. What, if you know what, you can make right decisions, either at either at business or at your exams. For me, all these things. Supply of service by a GTA. All those services by a goods transport agency. Services provided by a goods transport agency. Sir, who is goods transport agency? All those lorry people, lorry walas, all lorry company, lorry drivers, lorry owners, all those people are called as goods transport agency. Any services by a goods transport agency. So service should be a goods transport agency. Supplier of service should be a goods transport agency. He supplies services to a recipient, where the recipient is going to be either a factory, either any factory, society, cooperative society, registered person under GST, body corporate, partnership firm, AOP, casual taxable. Sir, இவன் யாரை சார் விட்டு வச்சிருக்கான்? ஒருத்தனை தான் விட்டு வச்சிருக்கான். Individual who is not registered. Sir, அதை மட்டும் நான் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிறேன் சார், ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. So இப்போ CS people can remember individual who is not registered. Can CA people can remember all this, sir? எல்லாத்தையும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. என்ன சார் இப்படி பண்றீங்க? அதான் நான் சொன்னேன், இதான் வித்தியாசம், இவ்வளவே தான் வித்தியாசம். Now I'll ask you a few questions. See, composition levy topic is a different topic. If you complete everything only, you can go for question. RCM is a different topic. Once every slide is over, we can go for question, and instantly we can test our understanding. Okay, and I'm inclined to go in that way only. Based on the topic, I will decide it. Okay, so if a time of supply topic fulla முடிச்சிட்டு போனாதான் நல்லா இருக்கும். Again, valuation அப்பப்போ முடிச்ச உடனே டெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அது மாதிரி RCM அப்போ முடிச்ச உடனே டெஸ்டிங். Now come back here. Supplier is Dynamic Roadways Private Limited. Recipient is Samsung India Limited. Services transportation of goods by road. Now, services transportation of goods by road provided by DRW, Dynamic Roadways Limited, to Samsung India Limited. Who is liable to pay GST? Dynamic Roadways Limited or Samsung India Limited? For your information, Dynamic Roadways Limited is not registered at all with GST. Quick, I want answer on your chat boxes. Dynamic Roadways Limited is engaged in transportation of goods by road for Samsung India Limited. From Bombay to Chennai, goods are brought. For whom? For Samsung India Limited. Now the question before you is, who has to pay GST? To government. Dynamic Roadways Limited has to pay to government, or Samsung India Limited has to pay to government. GTA is a notified service, and because Goods Transport Agency is a notified service, the recipient of the service is liable to pay tax. Recipient, in our case, Samsung factory, Samsung India Limited is a factory, or it is a body corporate. So either in one location it will get covered. No doubt, Samsung India Limited is liable to pay tax. Dynamic Roadways Limited provides services to an individual who is not registered. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. Dynamic Roadways Limited provide services to individual. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. Good. All of you are all right. RCM not applicable. I think if you start understanding in this logic, it's an end to it. Again, having you understood at one level, I'm adding one more. See, now konjama ungalku full understanding kodukkum. Come back here. In case if the GTA wants to pay tax under forward charge, see, sometimes there are big players in every business. There is a player called as Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited, who has 1,000 lorries. Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited, MSL Private Limited. This Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited has 1,000 lorries. Dynamic Roadways Private Limited had 5 lorries. Now, with 5 lorries, what big turnover you're going to do? But Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited is such a big company. They say, you don't pay tax. I am a big company. I will pay tax on my own. When the supplier of GTA services charges GST in the invoice at the rate of 6% CGST and 6% SGST, then the recipient of services is not liable to pay GST under reverse charge. Can you able to understand this logic? If the supplier of services charges GST at the rate of 6%, CGST 6%, SGST, or IGST 12%. If they charge, recipient is exempted from GST. SRM Parcel Services Private Limited provides services to a partnership firm in relation to transportation of goods. SRM Parcel Services provides services to a partnership firm in relation to transportation of goods from their factory in Chennai to the customer's factory in Hosur. Who does this work, sir? SRM Parcel Services Private Limited. They are the supplier. Recipient is partnership firm. Goods supplied, the recipient gets an invoice from SRM Parcel Services. SRM Parcel Services service charges for transportation of goods 10,000, GST at the rate of 6%, 6,000, SGST at the rate of 6%, 600, 1,200, total bill value 11,200. They get a bill. Who get a bill? Partnership firm. Now, who has to pay tax? I'll rephrase. I'll not ask who has to pay tax. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. SRM Travels and Transport issues invoice with GST at the rate of 6%, CGST, SGST to a partnership firm. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. அவ்வளவுதான். மொத்தமாவே 3 சிச்சுவேஷன் தான் வரும். முதல் சிச்சுவேஷன், GTA not registered, but recipient is a specified person. Second situation, GTA will not pay tax under forward charge. I mean, the 6% pay panna matter. But recipient is unregistered, recipient is not notified, individual. At that time, RCM not applicable. Again, third situation is when the supplier will pay tax under forward charge. At that time also, recipient will not pay tax. Again, RCM not applicable. Remember these three situations. That's all maximum can be tested in your GTE. Can we move forward? Yes. For CA students, this topic, later we will link it with exempted services and learn. At that time, your understanding ஒரு level ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும். இப்போ ஒரு level இருக்குல்ல, அது இன்னொரு level போகும். Okay. Maybe when we go to exempted services, at that time I will take it up, because for you that is the last topic. Once all this is over, last only we will take exempted services. So that's an independent topic by itself. Just be, if you want, make a remark somewhere. GTA, we will read something about in exempted services. So this sums up your discussion for the first entry, followed by legal consultancy services. All those services provided by an advocate or a partnership firm of advocate in relation to legal services, legal consultancy services, provided directly or indirectly to a business entity. Services provided by whom to whom? Supplier should be advocate, partnership firm of advocate, or individual advocate, or LLP of advocate. Company of advocates are not possible. Company professionals cannot have a company. எப்போதுமே joint and several liability தான் கடைசி வரைக்கும். அது எல்எல்பியா போட்டுக்கோங்க, இல்லை பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஃபார்மா போட்டுக்கோங்க, என்ன வேணா போட்டுக்கோங்க, கம்பெனி வர முடியாது. லயபிலிட்டியே இல்லை, அன்லிமிட்டெட் லைபிலிட்டி, லிமிட்டெட் லைபிலிட்டி தான் அன்லிமிட்டெட் லைபிலிட்டி. அப்படிலாம் வாஷ் அவுட்டே பண்ண முடியாது. Professional firms always cannot wash out in that way. In any case, come back here. Now, in case of all those services provided by advocate or a partnership firm of advocate or an LLP of advocate to a business entity, then the respective business entity is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Sir, can you give me an example? Advocate Mr. Ramesh provides services to RN Private Limited. Then RN Private Limited is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Who is not liable to pay tax? Advocate Ramesh is not liable to pay tax. Advocate Ranjit provides services to a individual who runs a business. For that business, some issues he has, for that legal issues he had. For that business, he used the services of Mr. Ranjit. Now, is that individual use the services for business entity purposes, that is business purposes? If the answer is yes, then RCM is applicable. Who is liable to pay tax? Recipient is liable to pay tax. So the whole discussion for us is, if any services provided by an individual advocate or a partnership firm of advocate to a business entity. Sir, business entity means any person who is engaged in business. If a company engaged in business, then company is a business entity. If a charitable organization engaged in business, then charitable organization a business entity. If a trust engaged in business, trust becomes a business entity. If anybody who do business, it becomes what? Business entity. Now, heard of a trust called as Ramakrishna Math? Ramakrishna Math, Ramakrishna Educational Trust like this. Ramakrishna Math, main charitable trust. They buy goods, sell goods. They buy some items, paintings and all they sell. They publish books, all those thoughts of Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and followed by they have some schools. In the school, Saturday, Sunday, they allow private people to come and use the playground for various coaching purposes. They get some small money. Use all the money for charitable activity only. Idea is to make charitable activity only. Question to all of you. Some issues was there in that trust. For that purposes, somebody from whom they bought the books, that fellow gave inferior quality of goods or books. So some legal issues. Mr. Ramesh, advocate Mr. Ramesh, was engaged by Ramakrishna Bhatt. Now, who has to pay GST? Ramakrishna Bhatt or Mr. Advocate? In other words, RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. Good. You all started understanding. Though it is a trust, it was engaged in a business activity. Hope you all understand. Business entity means it can be an individual, partnership firm, HUF, AOP, BOI, any constitution. If they are engaged in business or profession, they are called as business entity. If a business entity receive an advocate services which is used for business purposes, then RCM is applicable. Respective recipient is liable to pay tax under take a situation like this. A celebrity who is an actress, got married to a director. Then as our logic, if a actors are getting married to a director, don't ask me that and all, I don't know. A celebrity, good celebrity, married to a director. Somehow marriage does not subsist. 1-2 years, they split it up. And third year, they filed a case before the Madras High Court. Then they got splitted. The advocate who appeared on behalf of the actress, on behalf of the actress, charged 3 lakh rupees. Question before you is RCM applicable for this transaction? RCM not applicable. Actress paid rupees 3 lakhs to the advocate. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. எல்லாருக்கும் சூப்பரா புரிஞ்சிருச்சு. Sanjay, check your answer. Vishwa, check your answer. But for a few, almost all got it right. Same actress files a case before the Madras High Court for not receipt of money from producer. Engage the same advocate. Minadi divorce kaga adha uttrungo. Ipo vera. The case is filed against a producer for check issue 138 negotiable instrument. For that, another 2 lakh rupees fees paid to advocate because money their flaw is 2 crore rupees. So 2 lakh fees okay. Quick. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. Faisal, check your answer. Pavitra, check your answer. This time, case is filed against a producer for check bounce of a check which is given for a professional income. My intention is one person will have 2 sides, a professional side and a personal side. RCM is applicable only if it is for the business or profession side, not for the personal side. It should strike to us. So only that. Divorce, family settlement, family court, filing a suit within the family for property settlement, all are other than business purpose. Non-receipt of professional fee, filing a case against some businesses or business related cases, all are for this purposes. What purposes? Your business purposes. Whenever there is a business purpose and there is a business entity, RCM will be applicable. Good, good. All of you understood it well. So you are all able to appreciate this reverse charge. That's all. When you see a transaction tomorrow, sir, this is advocate providing services to a business entity, RCM applicable, respective recipient will pay tax. Advocate providing services to individual, RCM not applicable. When you tomorrow see the transaction and if you get that clarity, I think you are on par with the discussion. Same services provided by arbitral tribunal. See, arbitral tribunal means an authority who gives or who resolves a dispute. Sometimes, certain disputes are technical disputes. Certain disputes can be settled outside the court. Father has some 1,500 crore property. Now, how to settle within two sons or two daughters or two son, two daughter, one mother, divided by 5 லாம் போட முடியாது. I'm sorry. Accounts logic லாம் எடுத்துன்னு வராதீங்க. One is a land, one is a school, one is a business, one is this, one is that, one is a loss making business, one is a profit making business. Everybody will say, I want profit making business. One is a loss making business. What they will do, they'll appoint a person called as arbitrator or arbitral tribunal. He will arbitrate and give everybody one share. You take, give me my fees. Give me my fees. So services provided by arbitral tribunal, if it is for a business entity purposes. What example I gave itself is an individual purpose. If it is for a business purposes, then the respective recipient, business entity, is liable to pay tax. Little rare example, only theoretical, never will come in exam. Not like your GTA and advocate. Very, very important. 2 comes in exam regularly, including sponsorship services. There are 2 people here. Person who gives sponsorship, person who receives sponsorship. Take BCCI, best example. BCCI developed a game called as IPL and sponsored it. Well, get sponsorship like anything, that game. Now, BCCI allows its event called as IPL to be sponsored by different person so that every time they don't say IPL, it is Vivo IPL, Pepsi IPL, or before the DLF IPL. So every time, everyone will repeat like this. So a person, a supplier, allows his event to be exploited by another person. Think for a minute. But for last 3 years before, none of us will know what is Vivo. If someone say Vivo, you say Popo. That's all. Now they say, no, Oppo. Vivo, Oppo. பேர்லாம் ஒரு மாதிரி பயங்கரமா இருக்கும். Okay. So in any case, all acceptable. Or different country people name. Let's understand. It's something like Oma Satyo, Abeyo, Mayo அப்படின்னுவாங்க. சார் என்ன சார் திடீர்னு சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கால இருந்து ஒரு கிளைண்ட் வந்தானா அவன் பேர் அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். சரவண பிரபுனா இருக்கும், இல்ல ராமசாமி குப்சாமி கோவிந்தசாமினா இருக்கும். சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கா நைஜீரியால இருந்து இப்ப வந்திருப்பான். மேம் அபயோ பேசிங், அபயோ ஸ்பீக்கிங் அப்படின்னுவான். அபயோவா? சோம சட்டையோ அபயோ மயோ சார் அப்படிமா. டேய் நீ மயோவா அபயோவா இல்ல ஹோம சட்டையோவா, என்னடா உன் பேரு? Interact with foreign people, interact with a little international people, their names, different country has different style of name, followed by Hastumo Kameno அப்படினு ஒரு பேரு, somebody from Japan. We'll have different people. Now come back here. A product like these, or many people want a launch pad moment to create or launch their product, because let me repeat it, timing is important in many things. Timing is important. For all said and done, and the timeல அது கிளிக் ஆகும் பாருங்க, அப்படி கிளிக் ஆகும். அதனாலதான் அது ஹிட்டே ஆகும். So many times, it's not only for products, it's not only for films, it is not only for people. In fact, sometimes you sit little relaxed and think some of your decision. Some decisions taken by you will be a momentary decision. அப்படியே வாழ்க்கையே மாற்றின டிசிஷனா இருக்கும். சார் எனக்கு இது வரைக்கும் நடக்கல சார், இனிமேல்ட்டு நடக்கும், கவலைப்படாதீங்க. So some decisions will be a really nice decision if it will change it. So one of the very beautiful decision of BCCI was bringing in IPL. No jokes. Leave the scam part, ugly part of it. Leave it. See, everything will be there. ரொம்ப உள்ளுக்குள்ளெல்லாம் போனீங்கன்னா எல்லா இடத்துலயும் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் சாக்கடை இருக்கதான் இருக்கும். You should leave that part and see rest all how green it is, how beautiful it is. So why I want to highlight here is, see, come on, a sport like this comes where you bring in versatility, you bring in national player, international player, local player, you get one local identity. So in this process, a talent is getting developed. In this process, the number of people who play, number of people who get entertained. Moreover, IPL and all, it's a feeling and an emotion by itself. முன்னாடிலாம் காஃபிக்கு மட்டும்தான் எமோஷன் சொல்லியிருந்தோம், அதுக்கப்புறம் பிரியாணிக்கு மாத்தினாங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் கிரிக்கெட் மேட்ச்க்குலாம் இப்போ எமோஷன். ஐபிஎல் வாட்சிங் ஐபிஎல் லைவ் இஸ் அன் எமோஷன் பை இட் செல்ஃப் அப்படின்றான். கிரிக்கெட் மேட்ச் தானேடா. நான் இல்ல அதெல்லாம் கிரிக்கெட்டையும் தாண்டி அப்படின்னு ஏதாவது சொல்றேன். Now crux discussion for us is, think the event like IPL, Vivo sponsors, Vivo pays approx 400 crores per year to BCCI. BCCI is a supplier of service. Supplier of service means he gives us space to put here your name will come as Vivo. In the broadcasting, when I broadcast the match, below IPL name will come, above Vivo name will come. Vivo is the recipient. He receives a branding services, advertisement services from the sponsorship, from the sponsorer. Sponsoree. Sponsorer becomes the person who sponsor it, who pays money. Here, if the person who pays money is going to be partnership firm or a company, then the respective person who pays money is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Let me repeat it. There will be a person who is organizing a business event. There will be a person who is organizing a sporting event. There will be a person who will organize your, what to say, Tiruvai or Tyagaraja Kirtanai. Don't underestimate it. Tiruvai or Tyagaraja Kirtanai, you will have all the banks comes and sponsoring it. This is COB Bank banner. This is Indian Bank banner, Indian Overseas Bank. We are the gold sponsor, this sponsor, platinum sponsor. And sponsor means not joke. He'll pay 25 lakhs to organizer, 15 lakhs, 10 lakhs to organizers. They pay that money. They pay again and again, they pay money. Why? Their name will come in the prominent area. People will see. COB Bank, நல்லா இருக்கே, அங்க கூட பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட் வச்சுக்கலாமே. Some people will feel. In that, I'll have a footfall of customers. My business will grow. See, these are all advertisement modality. Who makes payment to whom? There is an event organizer. There is a person who is a sponsoree, who is a sponsorer, the person who sponsor the event, the person who receives the sponsorship. Receives the sponsorship is a supplier. Person who sponsor the event is a recipient. The person who sponsor the event is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. One important condition, the person who sponsor the event should be a partnership firm or a company located in the taxable territory. So if the yellow jersey center one name will come, forgot that name. Muthoot Finance. Okay. If Muthoot Finance pay 50 lakh rupees to Chennai Super Kings, Chennai Super Kings receives that 50 lakhs and says, we will allow you to sponsor our jersey. In the jersey center, your name will come. RCM applicable, not applicable. You will add one more item. Chennai Super Kings will pay tax or your Muthoot Finance will pay tax. RCM applicable, not applicable. First. CSK will pay tax or Muthoot Finance will pay tax. RCM applicable and Muthoot Finance will pay tax because Muthoot Finance is a recipient of service of advertisement and he is a supplier. Of course, there the business is not happening in that way. There the business happens in that way. Just for your instant understanding, I shared it. Let's take up another environment, another business model. It's a photographer's exhibition organized by Chennai Photographers Association. And this Photographers Association gets a sponsorship from Fuji, one of the company, Fuji India Limited. Fuji India Limited pay 10 lakh rupees to Photographers Association, saying that I will be your sponsor. Now, in this transaction, Fuji India Private Limited is a company who pay money to your Chennai Photographers Association. Who has, first question, RCM applicable? Who has to pay tax? Same model. RCM applicable or not applicable? Then if RCM applicable, who has to pay tax? Chennai Photographers Association, who receive the money, or Fuji India Limited, FUGI, Fuji India Limited, who is going to pay the money? RCM applicable or not applicable? Who is liable to pay tax? Sujata, can you check your answer? Good. Sudarshan, Anand, Sanjay, Malavika. Anybody? Quick. Naresh. Good. You're all right. I'll go to the last part of discussion. This hypothetical situation, a situation like this never will happen. I'm very clear. And it will never happen. One point in day, Sachin decides, okay, at last you BCCI want only 400 crores now. I will pay 400 crores. Henceforth, it will be called as Sachin's IPL. Now it is called as Vivo IPL, no? Sachin sponsors the whole IPL. So 400 crores Sachin pays. To whom? BCCI. Question before you. Who has to pay tax? RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. That end you have BCCI who receives the money. This end you have Sachin, individual who pays the money. Yes. Question 1. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. Next question. Who has to pay tax? This fellow, BCCI or Mr. Sachin? Good. Super. All of you understood. RCM not applicable, BCCI pay tax. Avaladan munjichu. Ivalave da sponsorship. Nothing beyond it. True. Yes. We can move forward. Oh. Followed by services provided by government. Same logic. When government provides services to business entity, then respective business entity is liable to pay tax. Sir, ipo da advocate ku padichome, correct? Adhe madri. Earlier, advocate was providing services to business entity. Now, government itself provides services to business entity, but with a restriction. That service should not be relating to Department of Post. That services not in relation to aircraft or vessel that is provided in an airport or port. That services should not be in relation to transportation of goods or passengers. That is to say, these 3 services provided by government to business entity, respective organizations will pay tax. I'll rephrase it. Instead of respective organization, if you find out, government itself will pay tax. Abdi purinjikonga. Ippodhikku abdi purinjikonga. But actually, respective organization will pay tax. Airport Authority of India Limited. It's not Government of India. Adhikku mela irukku Government of India. Now, one doubt will come. Airport of Authority of India Limited will pay tax, or one services provided by Airport Authority of India Limited to SpiceJet Limited. One service was provided. SpiceJet will pay tax under reverse charge, or Airport Authority of India Limited will pay tax. Airport Authority of India. Travel and Living Private Limited, one company is there. They provide food inside the airport. So, Airport Authority of India provide some services to Travel and Living Private Limited. A doubt came, who has to pay tax? Airport Authority of India, because services provided in airport, services provided in port, services provided by postal department, services in relation to transportation of goods and passengers. For these three services, government only will pay tax. RCM will not be applicable. Can we able to understand this point first? In case of Department of Post, services provided in port airport, services relation to transportation of goods or passengers. Sir, sir. One businessman goes in train, air conditioned class. Why air conditioned class? Businessman goes in air conditioned class, which is a business expenditure, which is a business travel. Who has to pay tax? The businessman's company or to government, and reverse charge or forward charge under businessman company to government under reverse charge, or Indian Railway to government under forward charge. This section says Indian Railway to government. When it is transportation of passengers, transportation of goods, RCM not applicable. When it is services provided to an aircraft or vessel inside the port or airport, RCM not applicable. Any services by Department of Ports, RCM not. Is it the government service? Many, you and me are now getting connected through a network called as 4G network. Be it Airtel, be it Idea, be it Vodafone, be it Reliance Jio, be it BSNL, be it SherryNet, be it ACTNet, be it any of those other facility service providers, all pay one license fee to government to use the spectrum waves, telecommunication, radio frequency waves. Not just like that use panna mudiyuma sir. Vadappa. You have to pay one money and then use it. Now, when you pay one money to get that license, who is providing service to whom? Government, Ministry of Telecom, Director of Telecommunication, above Ministry of Telecom, Government of India, Ministry of Telecom, Director of Telecommunication, provide services to Bharati Airtel by giving a license. Provide services to Reliance Jio Infocom by giving a license. What license? Pay me 50 crores, take a license. In full of Chennai, you do radio frequency network. Sir, I want full of Tamil Nadu. Then give me one more 150 crores. Reliance Science and here take 150 crores. Full Tamil Nadu, you can do your 4G license, 4G services. I want full India. Pay me only 600 crores. 600 crores is paid license fee. Apart from license fee, you should pay me some other user fee also. Okay, I'll pay. This like you stop at 600 crore license fee. When a license fee that is paid by whom to whom? Private player to government. Government is now what? Supplier of license fees or license recipient. Recipient is this respective Reliance Jio Infocom. Who receives the license? Reliance Jio Infocom. Who gave the license? Government of India. Government provides services to business entity. Respective government actually is liable to pay tax, but government told I and all will not pay. Recipient will be liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Take another situation. Government allots one coal mine to Tata Steel. Not coal mine, iron ore mine to Tata Steel. Tata Steel paid some 60 crore rupees, got an iron ore mine, and they go and explore it and start getting iron ore. Now, question before us is, once they start getting iron ore and they use the iron ore, melt it, steel it all, Tata Steel is a recipient of what? License to explore. Who gave the license? Ministry of Mines. Ministry of Mines of Government of India. Government provides services to Tata Steel, collected one money as license fee. For the license fee, supplier is government, recipient is Tata Steel. Tata Steel being a business entity, respective business entity, liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Can we move forward? Yes. I'll go with the last example just for all of your understanding. whether you could able to appreciate this or not. This time in YMCA, there is going to be a big event of AR Rahman is going to happen. When AR Rahman event is going to happen, some 10 lakh people will come. You have space for 10 lakh people to sit, no doubt about it, because the ground is such a vast ground. You can ask 10 lakh people to sit. You can arrange for everything. But the event organizers should get the official police permission. They got an official police permission, and the city commissioner of police, Chennai city, above him, the Ministry of Police, above that, Government of Tamil Nadu. The City Commissioner of Police says, we have to incur some expenses. We have a chart of charges. Based on the chart of charges, we will give you permission, but you pay us legally through a challan to the government treasury, 3,25,000. So this event company, one ticket, they are going to sell it for 10,000 rupees, every ticket. 10,000 rupees, the range starts. So very big event, okay. Now they said, okay, we will pay because 150 policemen will be involved. When 150 policemen will be involved in organizing the crowd, organizing the traffic, they start X, Y, Z, and 4 or 5 celebrities are going to come. They're going to have all this. Good. Crux discussion for us is event organizing company pays 3,25,000 to Government of Tamil Nadu to get this permission and get it legally cleared. Question before us is, who is, before that, RCM is applicable, who is liable to pay GST? RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. RCM applicable, who is liable to pay GST? RCM not applicable, who is liable to pay GST? Quick. Good. Proceed. First. RCM applicable, RCM not applicable. RCM applicable, not applicable. First to close that, then automatically you will be able to answer. Quick. Why only few of you answer? Side okay. RCM is applicable, no doubt. RCM is applicable, and respective event organizing company is liable to pay tax under reverse charge. So we'll do one thing. We have a lot more services. We all will take all those reverse charge services tomorrow, close down reverse charge, and try for all those other topic, which is the time of supply discussion, initiation, if possible. So we'll do one thing. We'll wind up for today's discussion. Thank you all for effective and patient listening. Thank you.